and you have a optical cable, or you have maybe the Astros A50s, or you have a different system, this is great for PlayStation 5 and the new Xbox X series and the S series. So we're going to take a look at it and see what you guys get. Now that you purchase your Xbox or your PlayStation 5 and you're a streamer, you have issues, there's two options you can do. You could buy the Astro box, or you could buy the JTEK version, or you can buy this version, the cheapest one out there. We're going to take a look at it and see what you get. So pretty much they're all the same. Right now, the earliest conversion is 2.0. There's no 2.1 or 2.2 right now. There's no box that will convert your actual audio connections into those versions, but there are differences on these two, and we're going to take a look at it and compare it to the actual Astros that are physically not in my hands, but we're going to talk about it again. So the box is huge. Nah, just kidding. It's this very small box now. Now we're going to put this on the side, and we're going to get everything out. You get the cables, the optical cables, and you get more cards, business cards, and instructions how to set it up. It tells you right here, DC 5 volt, basic phone adapter. One of these adapters will power up, but a lot of these TVs have an extra USB that has a 5 volt connection, or anything that you could plug in direct to your computer. You could just power it up. Now this is a slim USB. It's a USB, micro USB, if you could see it. And it tells you there, DC 5V in. That's pretty much where you actually put your power in. Now, HDMI in, this is where you actually power, you actually connect the actual HDMI going in. Now, this is very important because there's two different channels. There's a channel 2 bypass, and there's a 5.1 channel. So the audio differences is between, it depends on your system. Now, before you set this up, you also have to change it on your PlayStation and your Xbox too. So in order to convert the actual audio. So people are having issues where they plugged something like this, but it's not working. Well, the problem is that you have to go into the audio settings, and you have to say you have to stream the audio to the actual HDMI instead of the headsets, or it's going to keep coming back. So just make sure not only the settings here, but you have to actually do it on your PlayStation and your Xbox. So that's another thing. So it has the two different channels here, channel 2 pass, and then the 5.1 channel. Behind it, it's basically the optical out, and this is where we're gonna do a little setup, and then HDMI out. So if you are streaming, these two are very important. Of course, this was an option, so it's we're not gonna even use it on the setup. So the great thing is that they give you the audio cables, but these cables are obsolete now. I don't think a computer could even take them, but you could plug them directly to speakers or other stuff that they're still accessible. So we're gonna put this on the side and maybe use it in the future, but right now we're not gonna use it. Now they do give you the micro USB, power it up, and then they give you the optical cable, but it's only like 4 feet of cable, not very long. But if you have one right now, currently you can use the same existing one. So we're gonna go ahead and plug this into the Astros, how we're gonna be streaming through the Astros, and then the PlayStation, and we'll take a little video on the whole thing. So today we're just gonna plug it in directly to the Astros. So you have the setup here. You have your Astro box, your A50 box, and then you have your power for your Astros, and then you have the optical cable. The optical cable is very important. This is where you actually come in right here. So on the optical cable is what you do is you go just plug it in directly here into this direction. You find the actual connection, and it clicks in there, and that's the optical in the system itself. Now this is very important, all right, not to bend this too much. You could break it, you could damage the system. So we're gonna use the actual power adapter, and this is great. This is where it comes in, and this is one thing I like about the system, that the base itself is also a charging station too. So we'll plug it in here. There's a charging station area, charge it in here, and we're just going to plug it in directly into the micro USB here. And right now there is no power. As you can see, there is no power whatsoever, but it's a little elaborate setup. And then we're going to plug this into the computer. And now we plugged it into the computer itself, and there is power now, so you could be powering this box itself and charging it. So now that we have the optical in here, we're going to be able to actually plug in your PlayStation goes in here, and then from the PlayStation goes out here to the actual streaming box. So if you have a Elgato streaming box or any kind of digital streaming box, you could actually connect directly to it. All right, so I got the video to work with the optical system. We're going to take a look at it. And if you guys can see, it's going to be moving around here. See if you guys see that. So we are in business. You see the audio moving. So I'm going to show you guys how to connect your Astral's 850s, 4th generation or 3rd generation. You could log it in into the PlayStation 5 using a Elgato card, and we're going to take a look at it. So let's go ahead and take a look first. What did we just opened up? So first of all, I was trying to use the camera as a mic, but there's no mic in this camera. Horrible. The last one did have it. I heard that the other one does have it, so I might change that one. So this is the box. If you guys can see it, this one goes into a PlayStation. If you guys can see it, it says HDMI in to a PlayStation, and this one I'm giving it power, but in reality we don't need it because it still works. So I'm going to disconnect it. For example, I'm going to disconnect it and still power on, and we're going to take a look at it. If it powers on, yeah, still going. We don't need any power on it. You guys can see it. So you do not need power on here. You guys can see it. I don't know why it needs it, but I guess it's powering with the HDMI 2, which has power, which is the PlayStation. Then if you guys can see back here, I got the optical cable going into the actual Astral box, and then this one is going to the TV, to the monitor that you're going to be displaying this stuff, and then you're able to stream the audio. Now to capture audio, it's going to be an issue. To capture audio, I'm going to be using, to talk to my teammates, I'm going to be using my controller as the mic. That's the only way I could get it to work, but I'm able to listen to the game, listen to my colleagues, and talk to them on here, so which is good. Got the mic working, if you guys can see it. Elgato card, and if I say something here, I'll pick up the mic. Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Mic check. So I'm using Elgato A50s to work with the PlayStation 5. Got my Stream Deck, PlayStation 5's in here. Of course, I had a computer in here, but we're gonna move it out. Unfortunately, these don't have mics, which very, very, very horrible that they don't have it. We're still missing a monitor. I'm setting up my little area here, but so far I got it to work.